on October 2, 2024, several rockets were fired at Israel from Lebanon. This escalation has drawn significant attention due to the growing tensions in the region, particularly between Israeli forces and groups such as Hezbollah, which is backed by Iran. These rocket attacks are seen as part of the broader struggle for control and influence in the Middle East. For Israel, such attacks represent a threat to its security, while for many Muslims, especially in Lebanon and Palestine, these strikes are part of the resistance against Israeli occupation and aggression. But why does this ongoing conflict matter so much to Muslims beyond the immediate political issues? The answer lies in the connection to Islamic prophecies about the end of times. The role of Jerusalem and Al-Aqsa Mosque. One of the central reasons why any conflict involving Israel garners so much attention from Muslims worldwide is the significance of Jerusalem, specifically the Al-Aqsa Mosque. In Islamic tradition, Al-Aqsa is one of the three holiest mosques in Islam, and it holds deep spiritual importance due to its association with the Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, miraculous night journey. Many Islamic scholars interpret current events, especially those related to Jerusalem and its surroundings, as aligning with some of the prophecies related to the end times. The increasing tensions in the Holy Land, including the rocket attacks, are seen as part of a larger plan in which the status of Jerusalem plays a major role. In one famous hadith, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "When Jerusalem flourishes, Yathrib, Medina, will be in ruins." Some scholars interpret this as a sign that the focus of global events will shift to Jerusalem as we get closer to the end of times, and these recent attacks and clashes are seen as moving towards this prophecy. The Dajjal, Antichrist, and the final battle. Another important figure in Islamic eschatology is the Dajjal, or the Antichrist, who is said to emerge during the end times and bring about widespread corruption and destruction. In Islamic tradition, the Dajjal will appear from the east and will aim to deceive and mislead humanity. Many believe that the growing unrest in the Middle East, especially around Israel, is setting the stage for the rise of the Dajjal. Some Muslim scholars see Israel's increasing strength and the conflict over Jerusalem as part of the larger puzzle. The location of the rocket attacks, coming from Lebanon, which lies to the north of Israel, further fuels the idea that the Dajjal's emergence may be linked to escalating violence in this region. The Mahdi and the Muslim army. Muslims also believe in the coming of the Mahdi, a leader who will unite the Muslim Ummah community and restore justice during the end of times. One of the prophecies regarding the Mahdi is that he will lead Muslims in a great war, often referred to as the Malhama, or Great Battle, against the forces of evil, including the Dajjal. Some Muslims see the ongoing struggles between Israel and Muslim nations, including rocket attacks and military responses, as part of the build-up to this final battle. Hezbollah's involvement in these rocket launches and the broader conflict with Israel can be interpreted by some as part of this prophecy. Iran, which supports Hezbollah, often frames its opposition to Israel in religious terms, seeing itself as standing up for the rights of Muslims, especially those oppressed in Palestine. This framing adds to the idea that these conflicts are not merely political, but part of a larger divine plan. The destruction of Al-Aqsa and the Third Temple. Another central theme that connects the current situation with Islamic prophecies about the end of times is the fear surrounding the future of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Many Muslims believe that Israel harbors plans to demolish Al-Aqsa and build the Third Temple on its site. The destruction of Al-Aqsa is seen as a major sign of the end times in Islam, and many view the escalating conflict, including these rocket attacks, as part of the larger struggle to protect this sacred site. Any harm to Al-Aqsa would likely lead to massive unrest in the Muslim world and could be a trigger for the final battles that are predicted in Islam. For Muslims, defending Al-Aqsa is not just a political or nationalist duty. It is a religious obligation that is tied to the preservation of one of Islam's most sacred sites. The recent rocket attacks on Israel may seem like just another chapter in the ongoing conflict between Israel and its neighbors, but for many Muslims, they are part of a much larger narrative that ties into the prophecies about the end of times. The importance of Jerusalem, the prophecies about the Dajjal and the Mahdi, and the looming threat to Al-Aqsa Mosque, all make these events significant from an Islamic perspective. As Muslims, these events remind us of the importance of being prepared for the signs of the end times. The current situation calls us to reflect on our faith, to support justice, and to protect the sanctities of Islam. While the exact timing of the Day of Judgment is known only to Allah, we are reminded through these events to stay steadfast in our Iman, faith, and to follow the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. May Allah guide us through these challenging times and protect the Ummah from harm.